Hi, it's Mike Stephenson here. Today we're going to take a look at how can I use Serverless 360 to implement a maintenance window for my Logic App integrations. So here we've got the Azure Integration Services platform, and it's quite common that you might have an integration that may talk to a system that has some downtime on a regular basis. So let's imagine every Sunday night the system we integrate with goes down for a couple of hours while they do a maintenance job, and then it comes back up. So we may need to to implement some kind of maintenance window pattern in our integration, so we don't try to load data into that system. So we can use Serverless 360 to help us here. It would, if we design and implement this in the code for our solution, we can end up getting really complicated where we can use our monitoring tools to just pause our integrations and then resume them. And that might make it much easier to implement and manage this pattern. So with Azure Integration Services, we've got support for management operations for things like service bus, functions, logic apps, and a number of other resources. And I'll probably just drag in the documentation page for this so people can go and learn more about it. So you can see we've got management operations here, and there's a sort of demo about how you would configure it. So what I'm going to do here is jump over to my demo and just talk through what we're going to do. So here I've got my employee benefits file integration. So if we have a look at the service map, we can see that we've got an integration. Actually, I'm just going to modify this slightly while we're chatting. So I actually added a new Logic app here the other day. So here we've got my scheduler Logic app that would trigger the one that processes the work, and then that'll get data from our HR system and flow it over to the benefits partner. So we might have an example where the benefits partner goes down, or maybe the HR system goes down on the weekend, something like that. So we need to pause the integrations, and we can do that really easily with Serverless 360. So if I go over to my automated tasks area, and you can see I've set a couple of jobs up here. So we've got one job which will enable Logic apps for the end of the maintenance window, and we've got another one that'll disable Logic apps at the start of the maintenance window. And how you would set these up is you would go to new configuration, we'd have a management operation. So I would set this up here as test, I'll give it a name. So we'll have the Logic app type, and then we choose. So let's say we're just going to trigger that Logic app there. What state do we want it to be set as? So we'll set that to disabled. We'll then choose the time, so you can either just run it as an on-demand job where you would go and click in the portal to run it, or we can schedule it. So I could schedule this to run on a periodic basis. I can determine how long we want it to run for. Do I want to send an alert about the job running? And that would be how simple it is to set up. And then if we take a look at the jobs here that we've got, so we've got this one's running on these Logic apps here, which is going to just disable it, and then this one's going to enable the same Logic app. So that's how easy it is to configure that scheduled job. And you can see in the task history, you can see when we've each time we'll create the job, and then when it's completed, it would log the completed time. So it's just going to sit in the background. It'll run on the schedule that you configure, disable the Logic apps at the start of the maintenance window, enable them at the end of it, and then that implements my maintenance pattern. And I shouldn't really need to design anything specific for this in my code. I can just use the management tools to do it for me. Hopefully that's a quick video, just giving a little demo of this feature. I think it might be really interesting for a lot of people who are doing things with Logic apps and integration type scenarios. We think it could also help people who want, maybe if you're building a portal application and you need to do some kind of restart on a regular basis, you could really easily set that up from Serverless 360. And I'm sure there'll be lots of other good ideas people will have on how to use this kind of feature. Thank you for listening today, and have a great week.